Hello, folks who are just coming in. My name is Taylor. I will be teaching the 60-minute deep stretch class. If you have any props available, please grab them, like straps, blocks. If you don't have any of that, no problem. You can use a blanket or towels. And most important thing today is to just focus on what your body is telling you it needs and what it doesn't need. So any movements that I guide that are not feeling great on your body, find something that does feel good, because that's all I care about. Is it's Friday and it's time for us to nourish ourselves, or at least get a little bit of a release. So take a few moments to come to a seated position, cross-legged if that works for you. You can use any props to find ease. So if the hips are tight, you can take pillows or blocks, put them under the knees or under the hips to sit on. That's what I like to do to elevate my hips off the floor a little bit. And begin to just look around the space that you're in. Take note of where your body is in relation to the space around you. Just giving your mind a moment to orient to where the body is in space, giving our amygdala and our limbic system a little bit of a signal that hopefully, I don't know where you are, but hopefully a tiger's not chasing you at the moment. Just allowing that off switch to turn on so that we can have a little bit more room to come into rest, into relaxation, into here and now. So bring the gaze to a center point in front of you on the floor. And start to take note of the sounds you're hearing around you. Whether it's close in, maybe the room next to you, maybe a roommate, someone in the basketball gym next door, or farther away sounds. Maybe a bird outside or airplane going by. And allow the eyes to either soften until there is no focus or close completely. Keeping one eye of the mind on the sounds around you, begin to deepen the breath. Inhaling through the nose if that's available. Exhaling through the mouth to get a big cleansing exhale. Now take one big, deep, intentional breath that fills up as much of the body as possible, all the way from the collarbones, the shoulders, opening the ribs, down into the belly, the lower back. Maybe your seat even presses into the floor to make space for all of this air. And let it all go. Now releasing any attention on the sounds around you, bring the fullness of your awareness to the breath. See if you can find what point of the body is making the most motion. Hey, come on in. And it is Friday, so for many of us, it's the end of the week. And the invitation is to notice how the end of the week, just like the end of a breath cycle, is simultaneously the beginning of something else, the beginning of the next breath, the beginning of the weekend. Take a moment to invite any needs that may arise for you about what is needed this weekend, whether it's rest, maybe you need an adventure, maybe it's to just follow the simple directions of eat, sleep, do the laundry. And really honor whatever it is that may arise as a need to bring into this weekend. And to honor that wisdom that has arisen, or not, no problem if nothing came to mind. Bring the hands to touch at heart center, fingertips and palms pressing into each other. And to affirm this intention to carry out and give ourselves maybe a little bit more of whatever it is that we need this weekend. And to start here in this practice, gently bow the head. Release the hands, the arms, take on some light with the eyes. And orient to the space again. From here, take and plant your feet on the floor in front of you. Gently lean forward until your palms are on the ground and allow your legs to lift you up, slowly rolling all the way up to standing. Take a big shoulder roll back. Take a couple of these with the breath as you inhale, shoulder blades come up, open, and exhale, the shoulder blades down into the back body. Next time the shoulder blades are on the back body, pause here. Inhale, circle sweep the arms up to the sky, palms touch, exhale, bring the palms, trace the center line down to heart center. As you inhale, open the palms out to the side, arms come into these cactus arms or goalpost arms, and allow this to carry you up and maybe a little bit back. Gaze can reach up towards the sky, opening that heart center towards the top of your space. And as you exhale, curl in, bring palms back together. Chin comes in towards the chest, tailbone tucks under, and get a nice stretch through that back body. On the inhale, open back up into this standing cactus arm, cow shape. And exhale back in. Take a few more rounds of this flexion and extension of the spine at your own pace with the breath. Inhaling, open, and exhaling to curl in. Allow an inhale to bring yourself back to center from wherever you are. Release the arms to the side of the body. Take a minute to sway the weight back and forth, grounding into the feet, noticing what you're feeling underneath you, whether it's a hard surface, sticky mat, some fuzzy socks. And take the right hand, place it on the hip, sweep the left arm up towards the sky. Inhale, grow a little taller, allowing the spine to pull out of the sacrum, and exhale, take a side bend. Inhale, back up to center, engaging the lower belly to support this, rising back up, and exhale over. Take a few more bends to this side with the breath, inhaling up and exhaling over to the side. On the next inhale, bring both arms up towards the sky, and exhale, switch sides. Doing a lateral bend over to the other side. Maybe the eyes close here as you're doing this side bend. Really bringing the focus into the body, into the breath. And if the mind just wants to be wandering while you're doing movements today, that's okay too. It's the end of the week. On your next inhale, sweep both arms up, grow taller, palms touch. Exhale, open the arms out to the side, release them down to the side of your space. Open up the feet wider than hip width distance. So we're coming into this wide-legged stance. From here, sweep the arms up into creating the star shape. Exhale, bend at the knees, sink down into this wide-legged squat. Knees are coming out over the toes, engage the lower belly, the inner legs, building just a little bit of heat in the body. From here, take the hands, place them on the knees. And as you exhale, take a twist to the left, letting the right shoulder drop inward, left shoulder pulls back. Inhale back through center. Exhale, same side, twist over to the left. Inhale through center. One more time to the left at your own pace. Now switch sides, this time twisting to the right. Inhale through center. Let's take two more with the breath to this side. Then you come back to center, sink a little deeper, release the hands down. Inhale, sweep the arms up towards the sky, palms touch, trace the center line, coming down to heart center. Heel toe, the feet in towards each other. If you have blocks available, put them on either side of the top of your mat. Coming back to standing. Find your foundation in your feet, sensing into all 3 or 4 corners of each foot. From here, inhale, sweep the arms up. Last time, palms touch. Exhale, swan dive forward, coming into a forward fold. Knees bend any amount here to support the hamstring and the lower back. And from here, begin to heel toe the feet back into that wide-legged stance. Walk the hands over towards the front of your mat. Peel the back heel off the earth and come into a lunge. So the front toes face forward towards the mat. Hands come onto blocks. Adjust your feet any amount to create a comfortable lunge here. Engaging the inner legs, the back of the leg, all the way up through the glute to rise up here, building a little bit of heat. You can tap dance the knee off the earth to warm up the leg a little bit if it's not quite ready to be in this full lunge. Last time, lift the back leg high, reach the heart forward, engage the lower belly to really lift out of the pelvis, and exhale, lean down, start to rock yourself forward and back. Next time you come forward, lift the back leg off to meet the front leg and come into a forward fold. Place the hands back on the blocks or on the floor in front of you, and step the other leg back. Big step back into another lunge, other side here. Take a moment to adjust your stance as necessary to create foundation, comfort in the hips. Being mindful of the hamstring, and start to tap dance that knee off the ground again. Really engaging both feet into the earth. Being mindful of how much weight you're putting on the hands. And pause and sustain up high with the knee raised for 3, 2, 1. Start to rock forward until you're ready to step forward to the front of the mat and relax. Hands can come to either elbows for ragdoll. You can shake the head yes. Shake the head no. Reconnect to the breath here. Inhale, reach the crown of the head forward. Hands can come to blocks or to knees, flat back for a halfway lift, engaging the lower belly. Exhale, fold back down. Hands come to block or earth. Step one of the feet back, doesn't really matter which one. And this time allow the knee to come all the way down to the earth. You can roll up your mat or use a knee pad if the knee is tender. Excuse me. And coming into this knee down lunge, ground the back toes, so tuck the toes under and have them grounded into the earth to engage the back of that back leg. From here, press into the front foot, sending the hips back into a half split. Front knee can stay bent any amount. Exhale, forward again. Start to walk the front foot out to the side a little bit, bringing both hands inside of that front leg. You can stay here, or if you'd like a little bit more stretch, you can take a block in front of you and come down onto forearms for lizard pose. Option to send this front foot out, toes at an angle, maybe even lift the foot off the floor a little bit, letting the knee fall out. Play with what feels the best in this stretch today. You can release those back toes so the top of the foot is on the earth, and feel if this makes any difference in where you're feeling stretch in your body. Then inhale, lengthen the spine forward and out of the sacrum, finding length even in this twisty, lungy position. From here, one at a time, plant each palm back into the earth in front of you, move the block out of the way. Heel toe that front foot in a little bit. Take one hand onto your knee and then the other to rise your torso up. Coming back into this upright lunge. From here, option to get a little bit of an extra quad stretch by lifting that back foot up. You're either reaching for it with your hand, or you can always use a strap too, wrapping it around the top of that foot. This may be plenty, or if you're wanting a little bit more stretch and juice in the body, you can take the hand that is opposite the bent front leg and come into a bit of a twist by placing on the outside of that knee and turning towards that leg. Release that back leg if you have it up. Release the twist, place the palms inside of that front leg. Engage the back foot, tucking the toes under, and then inhale. Lift up that knee, step forward, coming into a forward fold. Honoring any extra sensation you're feeling in that leg that had been back. Reconnect to the breath. Now shift the weight into the other foot and take a big step back into a lunge on the other side, letting the back knee gently rest on the earth. From here, wiggle that front foot out to the side of your mat. You can even let the toes tip out at a 45-degree angle, bringing both palms inside. An option to stay here or to come down onto forearms, either on the earth or on a block. For lizard pose on the other side, eventually untucking that back foot. One thing that can feel really good in this position is to actually take one hand and play with opening up that knee manually. Bring in one really slow but deep and long intentional inhale, pausing at the top, and exhale it all out. Take 5 more rounds of your own breath, your own rhythm in this stretch. Place one palm and then the other on the floor if you're on forearms. Heel toe that front foot in underneath the knee and start to come up by placing one hand and then the other onto that thigh. From here we can take that quad stretch by lifting up the back foot, and take note if this side is different than the other and doesn't want to get lifted, no problem. Always the option for that twist as well. Taking opposite hand to the front knee. And send the breath anywhere where you're feeling maximum sensation. Inviting it to open and open on its own terms. Release that back foot. Walk the hands in front of the front foot. From here, take an inhale, send the hips back so that the hip is over that back knee, and step the front foot back, coming into tabletop. From here, walk the hands back towards the knees and up the fronts of the legs, coming into a standing on the knees position, diamond pose. Take the hands onto the lower back, thumbs facing towards each other, elbows mirroring each other, and use this as a bit of a self-assist to anchor your pelvis down towards the earth. And from there, engage the arms and the lower belly to pull the spine out of the sacrum. Maybe the heart lifts, the gaze lifts for a little baby back bend. Engaging the lower belly in the front to support this bend. And inhale back up to center. Exhale, place the palms on the floor in front of you. Shift the hips to one side, swing the legs out, coming into a seat, cross-legged. Grab any props to find some ease here. And shift the weight back and forth onto the sit bones, really feeling where they make contact with whatever is underneath your seat. From here, bring the hands onto the knees, elbows can stay limp. We'll begin to take some neck rolls, leaning the left ear over to the left shoulder. And really slowly to begin with, tucking the chin towards the center of the front of the chest as the head rolls down. Right ear comes towards right shoulder. Pausing on this side. And roll down, forward towards the other side. As you start to take this roll of the neck back and forth, see if you can match it with the rhythm of your breath. So find the breath, and then with one exhale, roll the head to one, taking the entire length of the exhale to get there. Pause for the inhale, and as you exhale, roll towards the other side. Option if it feels safe and easeful on the neck to utilize the back of the space too, rolling the head all the way around in a circle. Mindful not to dip the head too far back or put any stress on the back of the neck. Pause the head at center once it gets there, no rush. On the inhale, open the arms out to the side, parallel to the floor, fingertips reaching away from the body as if you could pull your arms out of the body while still hugging the shoulder blades into the back, really creating engagement, but most of all, a stretch through the palms, down the inner arms, into the armpit. As you exhale, wrap the arms in, giving yourself a hug, bringing palms towards the back, and really press your fingertips into the back, into your back here, and find where your fingers meet the backs of the shoulders, that upper back. If this is enough of a stretch, stay here. You can play with lifting the shoulders, or I'm sorry, not the shoulders, the elbows a little bit up towards the ceiling to get a little bit more stretch. If you'd like more, release the hands and let the backs of the hands come up towards each other, leaving the elbows where they are for these eagle arms. Here, you want to lift the elbows forward and up gently. It may not even be a full movement, just an intention of the movement to create a deeper stretch in the back body through the shoulders, while still maintaining space in across the collarbones so you can get a full breath. Option if you'd like to wrap the hands around each other as well. And take a few rounds of breath here, sending the breath into those spaces that are opening in the shoulders, the neck, the back. Exhale, release the grip if you have it. Open the arms out to the sides. Let them maybe come back a little bit, getting a stretch in the front body. And as you exhale, switch the sides. So if your right arm was on top, the left arm is on top now. Start with that hug. Maybe give yourself a little massage back there. And if you'd like to come into a deeper stretch, bring both the backs of the hands up to meet each other in front for eagle arms. Also option to wrap the hands so the palms are touching. Root down into your seat, using that foundation to grow the rest of your upper body up out of the earth, creating length, strength, without putting too much effort in, just enough to get that opening that feels nourishing. And find the breath. Honoring any compression that you feel in this position of the breath. Maybe it finds new places to fill up. Release the grip, shake out the arms, the shoulders. Notice any tingling or temperature changes in the arms that you're feeling, maybe even across the chest or the back. And from here, move any props out of your way, keeping a block and a strap close by. Unravel the legs, swinging them to one side. The feet are planted on the floor, knees are bent. Place the hands on your knees, and as you inhale, grow taller, getting up on the sit bones, engaging the inner legs to hug together. As you exhale, using a little bit of core strength, lower down, rolling vertebrae by vertebrae onto the back. Swing the knees back and forth a little bit, giving your sacrum a massage on the floor. Letting your spine adjust to this new orientation. Let the knees come to stillness and plant the feet underneath the knees. From here, lift up the right leg and take the right ankle, cross it on top of the left knee, coming into this figure 4 position. This may be plenty stretch. If you'd like a little more, you can lift that left foot off the floor, bringing the legs towards you. Reach your hand through the window opening. Left hand comes around the back of the thigh or the front of the left shin to deepen that stretch. Connect to the breath here, inviting the mind to refocus from whatever it was tracking to the inhale and the exhale, and any sensations this position, this posture, this shape brings into the body. Release the left foot to the floor. Gently place the right foot on the earth. Inhale, lift the left knee in towards the body and place the left ankle on top of the right knee, switching sides, coming into that figure 4. Option to bring the legs in and hold behind the right thigh. You can bring even more engagement into the stretch if you gently resist the hands, pressing the legs away from the body while simultaneously pulling them in with the hands. Notice where the mind is, honoring that whatever it was seemed quite important. And invite it back to be with the sensation, be with the breath, deepening each inhale, really engaging with this process that is always happening in the body, the breathing that is breathed without our knowing or our need to control any of it oftentimes. An opportunity during practice to develop a deeper relationship with this process that is going whether we are paying attention to it or not. Release the right foot to the floor, the left foot. Extend one leg and then the other out long. Inhale, reach the arms up and over so they reach above the head. Legs are reaching out of the body in either direction. So the fingertips are reaching towards one side of your space, your toes are reaching towards the other. And take a big full body stretch here. And on an exhale, let it all go. One foot at a time, bend the knees and place the feet back on the floor underneath them. From here, lift the right knee up, bring it in towards the body, reach the sole of the right foot towards the ceiling. Take the right hand and either place it between the toes grabbing onto the big toe, or you could use a strap for this to get a hold of that foot. And come into this half happy baby pose. So pulling the foot towards you while gently resisting up towards the ceiling with the leg. Getting that inner groin stretch. Noticing what this might bring into the hip flexors. And take a moment to note where your sacrum is. Invite it to ground into the earth. Left arm can come out to the side in a T shape or a cactus. And find the breath. Releasing the right foot back to the floor. Lift the left knee in towards the chest. Raising the sole of the foot towards the ceiling, and take either a grab by taking two fingers in between the first and second toe, or wrapping a strap around the sole of the foot. Play around with shifting the hips a little bit, the weight back and forth. Really finding the ground of the back of the lower back and the pelvis into the earth, pulling the foot towards you as you simultaneously gently, maybe 25% effort, are also pressing away, creating some resistance, a little extra stretch. And gently releasing the grip from your left foot. Place it back on the earth. Make any adjustments to the hips to get them back in center. Grab a block if you have it nearby, or a pillow works great too. Have it ready next to you. From here, engage the feet towards the center of the earth, really pressing down into the floor. Notice how that creates engagement in the glutes, the backs of the legs, and the lower belly. And from this foundation, gently press the pelvis up towards the ceiling, lifting the hips off the earth, and slide the block underneath the sacrum on any height setting, allowing the pelvis to rest on the block for a supported bridge pose. Allowing this gentle inversion to reverse the blood flow, allow some lymph drainage, bring some space into the spine. Option here, if you'd like more of an inversion, to lift one foot and then the other up towards the sky for a supported shoulder stand. If you're at home, you can also kick the legs up the wall if you have a wall nearby. Knees can be bent any amount. Opportunity to notice where the mind may have wandered again. And perhaps get curious. What was so engaging, so fascinating, or worrisome, or important? And acknowledge it. And then gently invite the mind to return attention to the breath and to any sensations in the body you're feeling during this inversion. If your legs are up, one foot at a time, gently return them slowly to the earth. Coming back into your bridge. Press the palms down into the floor next to you, as if they are a second set of feet. Press into your real feet and gently lift your pelvis off the block or top underneath you and slide it to the side. Slowly, gently lowering your spine back down. From here, take the feet, heel toe them out as wide as the mat, or just wider than the hips if you're not on a mat. And gently start to windshield wiper them side to side. So the left knee tips in, right knee comes out to the side. And switch to the other side, rolling onto the sides of the feet as you do so. Maybe the one side of the hips come off the floor a little bit. And keep this going from side to side, slowly. And maybe you sync it up with the breath. So take a full inhale to get from one side all the way up towards center. And exhale the knees to the other side. Continue this windshield wiper motion for a few more rounds at your own pace with the breath. And pause at center. Next time the knees are up towards the ceiling. And gently lower them to one side, sustaining here. You can always take a block or a pillow and put it under one or both of the knees if it doesn't feel great to let all of gravity take them towards the floor. Open the arms out to the side in either a T position or into those cactus goalpost arms. Sustaining this twist. Option to take the gaze to opposite side of the knees. If your knees are to the left, you can let the head fall to the right. And as you inhale, invite length through that top hip all the way up into the shoulders. So we find length even in this twist through that side body. Next inhale, use the length of the breath to bring the knees up to center. And as you exhale, let them gently fall to the other side. Take 2 rounds of really intentional, slow, deep inhales and gently controlled, long exhales. On your next inhale, carry the knees back up towards the sky. Hug them into the chest, wrapping the arms around both legs, giving yourself a squeeze. Gently roll side to side, massaging the whole spine. And check in with the body. there's any final movements or stretches it needs before it's ready for relaxation. And take a few minutes to move in any way that it's asking for. And as you're ready, make your way to our final pose, corpse pose, Shavasana, extending the legs out, letting them fall open. If this doesn't feel great on the lower spine, there's an option to put a bolster or pillows under the knees or keep the knees bent with the feet on the floor and knees leaning in towards each other so they're not having to keep themselves upright. If you want to cover up, add any layers, maybe even cover the eyes, please do so. Take this opportunity to really give yourself whatever it is that your body, your mind is asking for to completely relax. Arms can be resting on the belly or palms facing towards the sky with the hands to either side. And allow the eyes to gently soften or close completely. And as you use the breath as a focus while you allow your body to receive this practice, begin to notice the impact of gravity on your body, the weight of your body pressing into the floor, the backs of the heels, the sacrum, the shoulders, maybe the back of the head you feel pressing into the earth. And allow with each exhale these points of impact, of contact, to get even more solidified. Can you relax further with each inhale, getting heavier? If you have any blankets or anything on top of you, allow that to sink even deeper into your body. Relax the eyelids, the forehead, the throat. Take this, take this time to rest and to receive. And I'll guide you back out in a few moments. Begin to deepen the inhale, inviting the breath to bring renewed life to each cell in the body. If you'd like to stay in this Shavasana corpse pose for longer, no problem. Stay as long as you need. Otherwise, begin to bring some movement into the fingertips, the toes, and as you're ready, gently roll to one side. Coming into a fetal position with the knees bent in towards the chest. Head can be resting on the arm. And from the seed place, from this place of potential, thank yourself for carving out this time for your practice and for showing up to practice with others, whether it be in person or virtual. And acknowledging the end of the practice, but the beginning of the rest of your day. Press one hand into the earth and carry yourself up to a seated position. Keeping the eyes soft, bring the hands to touch at heart center, pressing each fingertip into its counterpart. In Anjali Mudra, this representation of the heart outside the body reflecting back at itself. And take a moment to recall any need that may have arisen or intention for your weekend that came at the beginning of practice. And holding that and each other's presence in this space, gently bow the head towards the heart. And release the hands, let some light come into the eyes. Thank you for practicing with me.